Hello there, YouTube. It's your girl MonRo, and we are gathered here today to observe the state of the community. Out here with your boy Cenat, famous YouTuber, Twitch streamer extraordinaire, who decided he was going to have a unsanctioned PS5 fake giveaway in the middle of Brooklyn, New York. And I've got all of the videos here compiled to make a timeline of all the things that have gone on in just about the past 24 hours. Today is the 5th of August, and earlier today the mayor came out and he made a statement. Yesterday the police chief came out and he made a couple of statements, and I've got all of those things all in one video for you to enjoy. So strap in, go get yourself a snack, go get you something to drink. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but we're going to get into it. Okay, just one more thing. I've got to do something before we get started. I've got to Okay, I think I got it. I need my thumbnail, okay? Don't judge me. Okay, so I want to get into this picture right here. I chose this as a thumbnail because I watched this video, and this is the moment that you can kind of see terror on his face. He turned around and there were like 5,000 people, and I saw them getting out of the van, and then these two guys, they started panicking, and then he started panicking, and then she's looking like, nigga, are you panicking? And he's like, oh, he's panicking. All right, so let's get started with the first video.
The NYPD responding to a massive out-of-control crowd gathering right now in Union Square Park. You see it right there. This is where a social media influencer told his followers that he's giving away PlayStations. Newscapter 7 and Shannon Stone live over that scene.
Free PlayStations. We don't know if it was 3 PlayStations or 300. There's conflicting reports. I don't know the number. I never saw a PlayStation. I saw the van that he was on. I never saw one PlayStation. So I think that's a lie.
With the breaking details. Shannon?
Yeah, and we have been watching this crowd for the better part of a half an hour now. It is Cenat, who is a Twitch streamer, that announced yesterday on Twitch that he was going to come to Union Square at 4 o'clock this afternoon to give away free PlayStations. And the scene that you're seeing right now is what we have been seeing develop.
When I saw this, I thought people, like, they were reporting on it because it looked like that thing that happened in Korea on Halloween where all those people were trampled. I thought that's what was fixing to happen, but fortunately that's not what took place.
Over and over again. From what we understand, he has some 20 million followers across his social media platforms, and it literally appears like all of them have come out to Central.
About all this extra space, and people just crowded up in here.
There's several thousand people here, but there's several thousand people strong, and when we first got on the scene, there were maybe 30 police officers here. So we're going to bring you down to 14th Street. This is all happening on the south side of Union Square Park.
He's not there anymore. He already left.
Across 14th Street, essentially shutting down traffic to keep people safe, because
he gone.
throwing things at each other as well as at police in the street. So this has become a very dangerous situation, and as we show you what it looks like inside Union Square Park, you see all that looks like debris on the ground. There was construction happening near the 14th Street station here, and there was paint cans as well as buckets, all sorts of construction equipment that was being thrown about. So you see the paint in the street there, and at the station where that roof, the gazebo, is covering it, we had people actually climbing onto the top. Police actually got control of that portion of the crowd, but we also had people up on.
There were rumors, or people were false reporting, like always, but saying that the people brought this stuff down here. They didn't bring this stuff down here. This I guess unmanned construction site left this stuff here, and they just picked it up and just destroyed it.
The statue here at the south side of the park, and in fact, you can see they have overtaken this once again. This is normally completely barricaded off, but the crowd here is just taking over the area. So police
on top of the horse,
are dealing with here, but a massive
on top of the statue.
Strong, unruly at times, and at times we're seeing them run randomly in different directions. So we'll bring up Street Spotter 7 here so you can see. If you are on the east side of Union Square Park, you've got the cars literally swarmed by people there. Same thing happening occasionally on the west side, but 14th Street essentially closed off as police tried to gain the upper hand on this massive crowd. Again, Cenat, a Twitch streamer, saying he's going to show up at 4 o'clock. It is now 4:02. We have not seen him yet, but to give away free PlayStations. And that
yeah, he put this tweet out or at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and by 4 o'clock there were all these many people here.
That is what caused this massive crowd. It was announced yesterday. He reminded people on Instagram today that he was coming at 4, and police really trying to gain the upper hand on this situation. For now, they've got 14th Street closed. Police aviation overhead as well, trying to help with the crowd control, but massive crowds, and they are swarming into different areas and then spreading out sporadically throughout.
Like,
Union Square.
what
Like,
is
this? Like
this?
if you were in this car, you were trying to travel south on the east side.
What are y'all
Square, and you were just
doing?
swarmed by people, so if you can
Even if somebody got something, like, you're gonna get immediately robbed, like, afterwards.
avoid this area, do it at all costs. This is a dangerous situation with people that are completely out of control. Reporting live over Union Square Park, Shannon Sohn, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Shannon, we do want to stay with you for a few minutes. We understand that Cenat is actually live streaming on Instagram from the center of that crowd down there, which is probably why we saw all of a sudden that crowd suddenly converge when we went to you at the top of our show. But we have been seeing for the better part of about a half hour, 40 minutes, we think that's him in the bright green all the way in the center.
That's not him.
That is a very dangerous situation.
That's
considering
AMP.
how many people there and the force of that crowd moving along. And you can see he's kind of encouraging them.
Yeah, you know, he's encouraging them, and I'm a little bit worried about all of this in general, because before
They don't know who they're looking
the crowd
for.
was really converging on each other, and it would break out into a bit of a fight. Every time the crowd got really close to each other, things would start to get thrown, they would back away, and then they would come back together again. Now, regardless of what's happening here, he's saying he's giving away PlayStations. I doubt he has PlayStations for all of these people if he has any
Yeah,
at all.
you think
What's
so?
going to happen when 1 or 2 or 10, I don't know how many he's giving away, but however many he's giving away are given away, and people are going away empty-handed. That's also going to be another factor in this, but anytime
I kind of thought it was 2023. I didn't know people were really like this riled up about PS5 still. Are they that hard to get still? Like, I don't understand.
Get a crowd together like this, where it's not planned really far in advance and something big is happening, they're getting downright rowdy down below, and there's just not enough police officers to control the crowd. And what you see, like, you're right. I think
He's
that is him
so
right in
lucky,
the middle
like
of your
nothing
picture. We've seen
happened.
this happen several times. We're
He
just
could have
gonna
got
look for a minute, and
crushed.
You see him, and you're right, streaming on social media, you see his arm going up with his phone, but you've got another crowd off to the right side, so they might be wondering.
So I guess the mistaking, I guess that's AMP for Kai. They were saying, oh, well, he's inciting it by taking pictures with the people out. Like, it's just bullshit.
Where he is, if he's even there yet, but this is an enormous crowd and just not nearly as many police officers as there are people.
And
here
there's
in
no
Union Square.
police
One of the
officers.
reasons there's likely not more police officers on site is because they had no idea. This was not a planned event. I mean, unless you were on social media paying attention to his post, they wouldn't know about this. And I suppose what they're doing now is trying to block that traffic on 14th Street, and they didn't have an opportunity to do so over there. I think that's Park Avenue South that runs along the eastern side of Union Square there. So, Shannon, the suggestion to anyone that's going to be traveling through that part of Manhattan. Oh, and these are pictures on the ground we're looking at right now. The rowdy crowd. We said earlier that their interaction with police was not what you would like to see. They appear to be throwing objects at the officers that are on the scene.
They were getting
right now is to try and
pummeled.
get a hold of that crowd, get some control of that crowd, and make some sense of it. Right.
They couldn't control anything, even if they tried. They were hiding behind that board.
And you could see the police are really overwhelmed in those moments as they were throwing
Overwhelmed, ma'am. Understatement.
things at them, and you could see police retreat. The interesting thing, and the question I think many people are wondering now, is what is police strategy going to be right now in terms of trying to control this?
Man, whose car is this?
Were caught off guard.
I know they
Clearly not
mad.
a permitted event that they were able to prepare for. This is something that it's like a flash mob that just suddenly appeared.
Yeah, this literally looks like a flash mob here, and I just want to show you before, just a few minutes ago, we showed you those cars parked, well, actually not parked, they were trying to get through Union Square East, and now not only are they stopped, which is what we showed you before, but now there are people actually standing on top of those cars. So these are people that were caught literally, as you said, in a flash mob, and now people are standing on their cars, and this is exactly the kind of thing that police officers are trying to gain control of, because this has just become a dangerous situation at this point, and as this crowd really starts to come around Cenat, you're going to see that this crowd off to the right side is going to start to merge in with that crowd in the middle, and all of that is happening on the southeast side of Union Square Park. So that's 14th Street here in the middle of your picture, and all of these cars were just trying to cross over 14th Street. Now, as much as police have been overwhelmed, we've also caught glimpses of them trying to sort of soothe people that sort of got stuck in the middle of this. We saw one police officer trying to guide a bicyclist through this to get him out of
A
harm's way
bicyclist? Why the fuck are you trying to ride a bike through this shit? Are you crazy?
while some people in the crowd were throwing water bottles and buckets at the police officers. But
Trying to escort a crazy person on a bike. Like, what for? Okay, here goes the police chief, and this is his first initial statement of the day.
All right, just really quick. Chief Magic, Chief of Department, standing here with me, Chief of Transit. Earlier today at about 1:30 p.m., NYPD became aware of a crowd forming in Union Square. It was quickly determined that an influencer was posting on social media about showing up to Union Square and was encouraging all of his followers to come to the park. There were some posts also about giving away some gaming systems. At approximately 3 p.m., the post went viral, and thousands of people began to arrive at Union Square. Soon the park and the surrounding streets were overrun with people. They were obstructing both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The NYPD responded by calling a mobilization in response to the large crowd. As the crowd grew, so did our mobilization. The crowd was swarmed when the influencer finally arrived at the park. Individuals in the park began to commit acts of violence towards the police and the public. There was a construction site within the Union Square Park, and people broke into the park and they began to throw articles that belonged to the construction site, paint cans, bottles.
Yes, they didn't bring them, sir. They were there.
We had people walking around with shovels, axes, and other tools from the construction trade. And additionally, individuals were also lighting fireworks, and they were throwing them.
I think it was the mayor that was saying that dumb shit. He was saying, "Oh, these people, they brought bombs." Like, nobody brought a damn bomb. What the hell are you watching?
Towards the police, they were throwing them towards each other. The influencer, we were able to eventually get him out of the park and remove him for safety reasons. Our officers exercised great restraint despite the aggression that they were met with.
Whose car is that? Oh my God.
Myself and our leadership team in tandem with other department attorneys.
It's a raffle on that car.
The NYPD offered multiple, and I do mean multiple, opportunities for the crowd to leave. We tried to give them a means of egress for them to exit the park and exit the streets. After numerous warnings and after being assailed, hit with rocks and bottles and other debris, we started to make arrests to clear out the park. The total number of arrests is still being tallied at this point, and we're still doing evaluations for some of our members. We did have members that sustained some injuries out here. At this time, we successfully dispersed the park, but we still have crowds mulling around Manhattan, and we have officers following them, preventing them from destroying property, looting, and other things like that. And we'll continue to be out here, and we'll continue to disperse this crowd until they're all gone. We're using our drone technology to help us monitor the situation. Of course, our aviation unit is up there as well. Our officers still being met with some resistance after numerous.
Every helicopter in town is here.
This mobilization is ongoing, and as I said before, we will be here until this crowd disperses. At this point, I'll take any questions.
So we start off with Josh Anchor, ABC7.
Josh.
We heard reports of injured officers. A woman told that she saw a cop getting jumped and beat. You're looking at video of you being attacked in your shirt shows. Can you talk about injuries to the members of the service and your own experience with what happened?
Absolutely, Josh.
I couldn't hear what the question was, but he was asking him about his injuries and if he had been attacked.
I believe the woman's account is possibly right, even though I don't know exactly what she's speaking about. Our officers were attacked. We were in there. We were crushed. We were pushed. I had officers on the floor. As you see, I'm a little embarrassed because I'm very dirty right here, but I was in the middle of the crowd. I was hit with multiple objects as well.
He's also like in no shape to be like saving anybody. Let's be real.
I think I have a couple of injuries, but I'll figure that out once I have time to think about it.
He has to think about his injuries? What does that mean? He's gonna make them up?
Yeah, we had 1 or 2 officers removed, and we had officers out here. I had officers who got hit and were hurt, but they stayed and helped us control this.
Oh, you Associated Press?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir.
I'm wondering if there is any kind of action that might be taken or could be taken against the influencer.
Absolutely. We're in contact with the influencer. I have our legal team here. I'm going to have a discussion with Commissioner Caban in a little bit, and then we'll make a decision there.
Well, I'm wondering though if there's anything specific that you could be targeting with.
Well, we'll discuss with our legal department about inciting a riot and other charges.
We're going to go over to Matt.
They're gonna make some up.
That I'm not sure in terms of the PlayStation. I personally observed young people walking out with their heads bleeding from their heads, bleeding from on their faces. I personally observed young people having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, asthma attacks. There was multiple.
They should charge him with fraud.
People were suffering out here. There was a lot of people. It was uncontrolled. It took us a while to get it under control, and a lot of young people got hurt.
Was that in conversation with police or was that in the riot?
No, most of it was within the park. The young people in the park throwing objects at each other. They were dancing. They were doing a whole lot of things, but they were hurting each other as they were doing this.
Why were you stealing stuff from the construction site?
That I don't have an answer for.
Matt, we're going to move on. Mark Morales, CNN.
Mark.
What's the estimate of how many people are here, and where is this YouTuber criminality? What precinct is it?
We do have him. I don't know exactly which precinct he's in. We have him. In terms of people, there was thousands of people out here. It wasn't hundreds of people. It was thousands, and mostly young people out here.
All right, Dean Moses, AM New York. This is the first time somebody's happened off the why you guys make things from
They have him in custody.
After action review in terms of how we responded, how we're monitoring social media, and how we can prevent this in the future. We have encountered things like this before, but it never.
This is what happens when you have a bunch of boomers like on the force. Nobody knows anything.
to this level of dangerousness where young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other, they were hurting each other, and they were turning our attacks on us. We had to defend ourselves, and we had to make arrests.
Approximately, Chief, how many people were arrested?
Quite a few. I don't have an exact answer. We loaded up a city bus. The bus, we had young people attacking the bus, trying to pull people off the bus. We had to send resources there to protect the bus. It was a very dangerous situation.
Anthony Lorenzo, fix it up. The question is, how does something like this happen? There's no monitoring at all, or anything like that. This massive influence is coming. I think it's supposed to have a permit. Nobody doesn't have a permit. But with this all on this radar, how does it let young people?
Well, this speaks to the power of social media and the danger of social media. We do monitor social media. When I go back later on this evening, I will have an after action to determine exactly what our steps were. We can't allow this to happen again in the future.
All right, we're going to take one more question. Joe Marino, New York Post, Chief. This wasn't pre-planned with the city.
We'll see what the changes that they make are.
Yes, this was not pre-planned with the police department. This was something that was spontaneous. And as I just said, in answering the last question, the power of social media, the danger of social media. Listen, we're not against young people having a good time. We're not against young people gathering. But it can't be to this level where it's dangerous. A lot of people got hurt today.
All right, thank you everyone for your time and attention. Thank you, folks.
Okay, a lot of people were allegedly injured. Here's on the ground. Look at that. He doesn't know who to grab. Chaos. Complete chaos. All right. That is your sign to, you don't have to go home, but you have to get the fuck out of here. They've got a little bit more control. What did he do? Oh, brutality. Another arrest. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Whose grandma is this? Yeah, that looked like a firework. That didn't look like a bomb. All these incels.
Right there and check in with him, but please hang on the phone. Go ahead, Josh.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, Liz, we're on 14th Street. That bus that's backing up from the crowd. We understand that this guy,
Here's the deal with the bus. The bus, Kai was never on no damn bus. But we'll get to that.
influencer is on that bus, and the police are backing him out. That's what we're hearing from various people in the crowd. The crowd is following the bus. There's a huge
They think he's on the bus. But
in helmets and with
these
batons
boomer
out, and
reporters, they don't know who the hell they're looking for.
including us, by the way, back from the bus. We're going to walk back here. Tara, let's go back in a second. And we're going to back up right now to Fifth Avenue. This is 14th between Union Square and Fifth Avenue. You can see a lot of people surrounding this bus right here. The police, I'm not sure how they got this guy on the bus, if that is in fact what happened. I don't actually know what he looks like. There is someone in the bus.
He's not on the bus.
On one side of 14th Street because they're trying to figure out how to get this back. But you can see what's happening. It's a really out of control situation. A lot of police here.
But they didn't want to tell him what was going on with the bus. We'll find out why.
Now, I can tell you there are some reports. Police don't quite know what to make of it. People I'm talking to, that there have been some number of cops who sustained some number of injuries. It's not clear how serious they were when they first arrived. And they are now at least trying to set up this perimeter around this city bus. Why don't we come out to Fifth Avenue, Jared? And we're just going to get kind of out back this way. But you can see these police officers here in the helmets. They're ready for anything. Now, I did talk to one member of the NYPD.
They look pretty lackadaisical.
They don't want to arrest people. They really do not want to make this situation potentially worse.
They don't want to do anything.
Dissipates, but of course, that seems unlikely, and so they're here kind of ready if it does escalate. But you can see they're still not quite fully staffed up and fully under control here. They have called what they describe as a level 4 mobilization. That's the highest level of mobilization that the NYPD has. That means they have cops coming in here from all over the city, from every single precinct command in
all hands on deck. That's what it means.
On these helmets. We see people running here, so it's not really clear why these people are running. It's a pretty volatile situation, Liz and Sandra.
All right, Josh, we do want you and your crew, obviously, first and foremost, to be careful. We know it is a very fluid situation. We know that this crowd has been running in every different direction, so we do want you to be careful. I guess the question, is there hope, considering the police are trying to take this bit of a standoff approach, that the influencer, who we believe is inside that bus, that they're going to allow him to complete this fan meet and greet?
Hell no.
I didn't quite understand the question.
They took him away.
I'm sorry. And we have somebody who looks like he's being arrested right here.
Oh, another one.
So the influencer, is it you?
Clear.
Looks like they arrested like a lot of older people.
Oh, yes.
A couple kids, I guess, but mainly like, older teenagers.
Shooting this arrest happening right here. So, hey, Jared, come back over here. You see me? All right. Can you take a look at the front of this bus? Let's see what we can see on the bus. There are people on the bus. It's unclear if they're arrested or not, or if they've just been put on this bus. And I don't know who. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what the bus is for. Come on, use logic.
This influencer looks like. I personally never heard of him. I don't know if he's on this bus. That seems to be what people all around here think. They all have their
They're on top of the bus.
and you can see a lot of police trying to control this. We're going to step out this way.
This is wild.
Them, but I keep being drawn back to this picture here where people were trying just to get through traffic, and now people climbing on top of their cars to the point where you almost can't see the vehicles.
Yeah, Shannon, we are getting some information now that 6 trains
Look at them
are right
hiding.
now
Look at the cops
bypassing,
hiding.
14th Street Union Square Station in both directions. Obviously, a deference to what's going on there. And you mentioned that where we saw the people up on the roof there, that has been under construction. So that added danger of what has been a construction area for weeks now. That's that big entrance to the train station right there in
That's
Union
a lot
Park.
of people.
Probably why they were able to find a ladder around there. And I'm assuming the workers, once they started
You
seeing
got
the
one
crowds and
trying
stuff,
to
kind of
do it.
dispersed themselves.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the case. And you're seeing right here an arrest being made by police officers. But
Okay,
look at the chairs.
this
They're
kid right
strewn
here.
about. Some chairs were being thrown. They're trying to put up barricades, but as people try to get through those barricades, police are now making arrests through this area. And we talked about that gazebo over the 14th Street station. It's under construction. That's a fear in and of itself, but it's not intended.
Damn, they don't know where the hell they're taking it. They're just pushing them around.
So this is a whole other problem that could evolve because of this completely.
Could you
chaotic
imagine
crowd.
being underneath this thing and this thing came crashing down? Like, wow, this could have like really been bad.
I mean, that is literally the only way to describe a crowd like this. And they're all looking for something free. Who knows if they're going to get it at the end? And who knows
Hopefully
what
that thing is
going to
sturdy.
look like when this is all said and done.
Right. And Shannon, even though we had heard that Cenat had been streaming live from down in that crowd, at this point, we don't even know if he's still down there, do we?
No, we don't. I'm trying to look for that green shirt again, and the crowd is
No,
just so
that's
thick,
not
it's hard
him.
to make it out. So we genuinely don't know. But how he would
Such
get out of this
boomers.
crowd at this point is
That's
the
not
question as
him.
Well, I can't even imagine how he would work his way out. I don't even think police officers would be able to get to him to help him out if that's what he needed at this point. It is just a mob scene down below.
Right, and it does not seem like he walked into that crowd with his own private security who could potentially help him navigate his way out of that situation. We are starting to hear that there have been some NYPD officers who have suffered some injuries. We have no idea at this point the extent of those injuries. I would imagine, considering the atmosphere down there, that we are going to start to hear about injuries. Police as well as those who are there in the crowd.
Oh, I would absolutely absolutely think so. But you can see things have certainly changed on the police front. You were looking down at 14th Street now, and you see the line of officers here, where when we first arrived on the scene and officers were first arriving on the scene, what we saw was truly remarkable. You saw a group of officers, maybe 10 or 15, and they were
y'all are needed over here.
And they actually took cover behind some of
What
the
are they standing over here for?
Approached them, throwing things at them. I mean, it was something I've not seen before. It's like they had absolutely no fear, and the police officers, really not prepared for it, were forced to retreat. But now it looks like they've got sort of a human barricade up along 14th Street on the south side of Union Square.
There's already a barricade
here. But there's a significantly more police presence now.
They won't do nothing.
Like they're starting to get a handle. I think they started to arrest people. Maybe that made a difference. But they're starting to get a handle. And again, they've got the advantage of police aviation overhead that can tell them where they need to be. But again, I keep being drawn back to these cars. The first few cars here have now virtually disappeared in this group of cars. So clearly,
and there are 2 rows of cars there, it appears, that now just have a mob of people sitting on top of them.
You know, Chief of
Department. Show it to you with Street Spotter 7 here. We can actually like highlight it for you. That's a car there. It looks like it's just people, but there's actually
this poor car
there.
Among those who have been on the scene for a while now is Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry. So you got to believe that reinforcements are pouring in there. We see that with the officers now lining 14th Street there.
Yeah, and they're just
need a
piling up, standing around down here.
Any hopes of trying to bring some order to this situation? Although people, it appears they've moved out of the park. That's
and
that really open space
down
to the street.
towards the street.
But they're not going to do anything. They wait for the riot cops to show up.
Yeah, they seem to be moving.
Pretty
We've
much.
seen this happen a few times before since we've been over the scene. Again, we've been here for probably 45 minutes now, and for a while, it almost seems like a pack mentality where someone sees someone move and they run aggressively in a direction, and a whole group of them run with them. So it might not actually mean anything. We were watching some go from the south side of Union Square Park. I keep saying Central Park. From Union Square Park, and they were running towards the north, and then they would just sort of double back and head back into the fray. So I'm not sure if it's a mob mentality where you see people going and you think that you must be intended to go in that direction as well, but that's what we're seeing again going down Broadway here. They're literally just moving along, not quite sure what's on the other side of that. I'm actually going to
I don't know what they're staying here for. Like, ain't nobody giving you nothing.
But we see them dispersing and moving.
Running down the street there.
I mean, I got to believe for a Go ahead, Shannon.
Go ahead. Yeah, this is something we've been seeing where they'll run aggressively in a direction, and it just seems like some people see them running and they're like, well, we should do that too, and then they all just sort of come back. So we're not quite sure what is causing them to do that, but we've been seeing this in various different directions throughout this last 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, you got to believe for a lot of these people down here, a lot of them really young people, it's a happening. They've come perhaps to get some free stuff. But I think they're part of the happening now. Eyewitness News reporters
ain't nothing never free.
By with more. Stefan, where are you right now?
Well, Sandra, as you can see, I am standing next to the Union Square subway station entrance. Where it looks
and
like
they're still on top of it.
Well, look up on top of that. That's what's happening on top of the subway station entrance. There's, I can't even count, countless people up on top of there. They're climbing it right now, as you can see. In fact,
it's
to your left, they're actually on top of the statue here in Union Square. I've actually got a couple of his followers here with me who can kind of explain to us what they were expecting, what happened. Young man, give me your name real quick and tell me why you came out here, what you expected to happen, what did happen.
All right, my name is Dilaquan Tavius. So basically, it's a Cenat Phantom. All of the AMP members, I don't know about all of them, but they pulled up, do a little meet and greet and a giveaway for the fans.
Giveaway of what was the understanding?
So, from my understanding, PS5s, video game accessories, PCs, but I don't think they will actually give away an actual PC because how is somebody going to carry that? So I'm pretty sure it's gift cards for them to then go and get the P5 themselves.
Y'all got gooped. He scammed all these kids. He never had a goddamn thing.
Safe to assume that you, along with your friends, came out here thinking that you would get some freebies. Is that correct?
Not that we're thinking, but there's a chance to because there's so many people and there's only so much you can give.
Has any of that happened? Is he here?
He's here right now, yeah. And they were giving out, but people are being people. There's so many people here. People are pushing around, so you can't really get it organized.
Okay. And before we came on, you were telling me that in your own words that some people out here were bugging out. Explain to me what you saw, what you meant by that.
Bugging out, like you can see, like there's no excuse obviously for what happened, but stuff like that just happens all the time. People being reckless. It's New York City. Stuff like this happens every day. Well, I wouldn't say every day, but
what?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you and be safe. As you can see, Sandra, we've also heard and seen incidents of construction equipment behind me. I'm going to show you one last live look again of what's happening here. Construction equipment being tossed around. We saw smoke. I'm not sure if that was a fire or some kind of smoke bomb. Again, this was all sparked by a Twitch streamer, a social media influencer. He has 20 million followers. He asked them all to come meet him here at Union Square for what was a PlayStation 5 giveaway at 4 o'clock. Apparently, we're also hearing that people showed up only to find out there were no freebies. And as you heard, he is here. At one moment, he was live streaming in a van nearby, but
nothing.
He did step out. As you heard, he's out here greeting his fans.
The only thing you got was arrested.
Objects thrown at him. Cops are obviously outnumbered out here. They're standing by for the most part. We're hearing that there are officers who have been injured. Unclear at this hour the extent and severity of injuries. But we're also seeing
where the hell is this car going? Where y'all going?
Some of the equipment entrance here. As we made our way towards this area, there are many streets around here closed. Police officers, we noticed, closed off traffic as high as 20th Street. Trains are skipping this subway station now, so police are asking everyone to avoid this area. But as you can see, there's a large crowd here. We're hearing estimates of thousands and thousands.
So if the train is skipping the station, how do you expect these people to leave?
People who showed up, and clearly NYPD is vastly outnumbered in the situation.
Stefan, I don't want to interrupt you for one quick second right now because you're looking at live pictures of a car that was literally covered with people, and we do believe that that was the vehicle that had Kai Cenat in it, which you can see now was
watch this.
Leaving the area. That is why you're seeing that crowd there chase after.
That's it.
That's the vehicle right there that they believe Kai Cenat is in right now. As Stefan was saying, he was
That's
there.
AMP.
He was in the crowd for a little bit of time, but clearly this was an out-of-control crowd, and no freebies given away, no giveaway whatsoever, getting in the car.
Look at this.
Clearly you're looking at a very dangerous situation with this car now driving pretty fast with those people clinging on to the side.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's mind-boggling why they're not stopping to let these people off the car. And then there just someone fell off. Okay,
there goes the lawsuit.
Bob Boyce, former NYPD, to talk
another
more
one.
about the situation. Bob,
Another one.
Liz Cho and Sandra Bookman.
I can.
Okay, we know you're on the phone. I don't know if you have an opportunity to see what's going on in Union Square, but talk to us a little bit about police procedure. Obviously, this
Stop
was a
and
situation
get these
that police were
niggas
not
off the
expecting. So how
car.
is it that they start getting the upper hand in crowd control here?
So they call the level 3.
There they go.
That's citywide. So there's going to be cars from every precinct in the city coming there. They have to stage first, and they have to get together. Then they have to, at some point, go in and disperse the crowd. Now, someone should be on a bullhorn right now dispersing this crowd. I don't know if they're doing that yet.
There they go.
That's usually what happens. Generally speaking, they'll bring it mounted to aid in that effect, and they'll start diffusing the crowd as best they can. It looks like you have an unruly mob right now, and they have to bring order to it. But citywide units are coming. In the meantime, they'll have to do with the best they can what they have.
But how much of a challenge is this for law enforcement? Look, we've seen similar things on the Jersey Shore. Somebody sends out an announcement on social media that there's going to be a party. The next thing you know, you've got 3,000 people on a beach at 11 o'clock at night. This seems like a similar thing. We're giving away freebies in Union Square at 4 o'clock, and the next thing you know, 5,000-6,000 people show up. They're not getting the freebies, so they start acting out. How difficult is it for the department to get a handle on this and keep it from turning into a kind of free-for-all?
Well, first they need to know that it's even going on. There you go.
On the phone. We're going to try to establish our connection with him because obviously there are a lot of questions. Oh, Bob is back. Bob, can you hear us?
I can.
Did you get any of that question? You know, these calls going out on social media, obviously, young people know it's out there. They got the message. They're showing up at 4 for something free. 5,000 other people.
Maybe they ought to hire one of them. That way they can know about this type of stuff.
Will show up. The police are sort of almost behind the 8 ball. How difficult is it for the department to keep track of these things and to try to bring some order to the situation and keep it from becoming a free-for-all like we've seen here in Union Square?
Intelligence.
All right.
Let us know when large gatherings are coming, and that's what's important to understand. You have to get out in front of this before it happens. Usually there's sneaker giveaways, whatever the case may be, a new product coming out. Generally speaking, we know what's going on within Manhattan South. This apparently was a little they got past it, and so now they have to deal with it by bringing resources immediately.
Do you think Kai Cenat, considering his posting on social media and urging of this gathering here so large and not going what appears to be the proper channels, will he be facing charges?
I would doubt the answer. He didn't really create this.
Doubt it. That's what he said. He said, I doubt it.
It's his ability to bring people together, which is the issue. So it sounds like he's doing this in altruistic fashion, but I don't think there's criminal charges yet. We'll have to take a look further, but it doesn't appear that way to me now.
How has police strategy changed, I guess, in the last couple of years in terms of handling crowds like this? When officers first get there and they come across what appears to be a very unwieldy crowd, what is their initial approach to try to calm things down?
Run.
Generally speaking, you immediately call for help and you call the borough command who will bring resources in. We have task forces who are trained in crowd control. This is not something we don't have, but you have to get them to the scene, and that's the hard part. You want to discourage without any more violence or any more action, but it sounds from what I'm hearing that some police officers have already been injured.
Oh,
so
God. There they go.
Look, you've seen everything. You were with the department for decades. How surprised are you to see this pop up in the middle of a summer afternoon in Union Square Park and
grab protection,
struggling to try to get a handle on it?
With the power of social media, it's not unusual, to be honest with you.
This is sad. If you a cop, if you on this force, sad, bruh. Ain't none of them fit. Ain't none of them fit for duty.
See it in other cities. We haven't had this in New York for the most part. There's mobs and that stuff. We're able to get in front.
They can't save themselves, let alone someone else.
And turn people away from that park, from that meeting area. That's the key here, is to get out in front of it initially. Apparently they didn't know about this influencer, and so this is what we have now. This will diffuse, but it'll take
you know him now.
Really? You think it's going to take that long?
At least 2, because you have a lot of people there and they don't want to go home. And especially now that he's left. So there's a real danger here. Because you have gang issues, you have alcohol issues in the park. There are park regulations that you can make arrests for this. They're not there yet. But now you need some police leadership on the bullhorn, moving people out of there as fast as you can.
Yeah, we're looking at more live pictures right now from News Chapter 7. And Bob, like you said, we are now finally seeing a lot more police presence there. You can see them kind of lining the area almost shoulder to shoulder in certain parts. But this crowd, it keeps moving. Yeah. And you have these cars that are still stuck in the road with hundreds of people surrounding them. I would imagine it's got to be very scary for those people who are in those cars.
Ain't nobody in that car.
Because they can't control where they are. It's tough to get out of there. You know, traffic in Manhattan, it doesn't move at all at this time of day. So this is a tough time. But what they're doing now is shoulder to shoulder and go through the park and moving people out, hopefully into the subway system, but also ensuring the people in the subway, which is right there, make sure they're safe as well.
Well, I think they've actually
they just take the barricade
bypassing 14th Street from Union Square because they don't want to get all those people into the mix there. The other side effect of this is we are going into the evening rush. So what's happening there is going to sort of have spider legs, and it's going to affect a large swath of downtown.
It will, and unfortunately, it's Friday. You get less people. People like to take a long weekend. So hopefully that's part of the issue here.
Bob, I'm going to interrupt you for one quick second. We do want to get to Josh Einiger, who is in the crowd right there, and check in with him. But please hang on the phone with us, Bob. Go ahead, Josh.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, Liz, we're on 14th Street. That bus that's backing up from the crowd, we understand that this guy, this influencer, is on that bus, and the police are backing him out.
He's not on the bus. We'll get to the bus. Okay. We'll get to the bus. But this is where he was at. This is what happened when he went. He got out. He got lifted out of the area. They had to carry him away like a little baby. Like a little manlet that he is. And by them saying that he was on the bus, it just kind of made it worse for a moment. But yeah.
And this is video here of Kai Cenat being taken, I don't know if the correct terminology is into custody, but this is him with the NYPD.
After he got carried away to safety, this is where they took him.
Where he was taken into custody for questioning. We have not gotten any word of any arrest, only he was taken into custody for questioning. But there you see him in the khaki pants with the black sweatshirt being taken and escorted.
They finally found out what he looked like.
By NYPD for questioning.
21-year-old guy, New York City native, usually uses humor in a lot of what he does online, we're told, and is a huge sensation. And he has a huge influence, literally in the most literal sense of the word. And he brought people out today, all right, and now this.
And the NYPD does have a unit that does monitor social media posts, and for the reasons like today, and for the most part they've been pretty successful. But the chief of department there, Jeffrey Madry, saying and answering a question from one of the reporters there at that news conference, saying that yes, we do monitor social media. We will certainly review what happened today, how this became so out of control, because he says, quote, this cannot happen again.
He said they're not against young people gathering, having a good time, but it just can't get to levels like this. There are injuries. There have been people with panic attacks, asthma attacks, anxiety attacks. People literally got
mental attacks, gangs, alcohol issues. The whole gambit.
And someone's got to be held accountable for this, and we'll see how that happens going forward. Man, there he is being taken in for questioning right there early this afternoon.
Winter is...
All right. Next. This is before he got out. So this was the van that he was in. Or I guess it's like a party van. That's what it appears to look like.
About to see NYPD, bro. Security guard. Police over there. Welcome to New York, bro.
No PlayStations in sight.
There's a lot of y'all out there right now. Everybody who's out there, make sure y'all safe.
The only thing he had was this little bag right here, and he had like maybe 50 gift cards, and that was it.
Everybody who popped out for y'all, bro, we gonna make sure it's safe, bro. We're not gonna do nothing until it's safe. Yeah, we gotta make sure it's safe. Everybody's good.
He never planned on doing anything. There was never anything.
Spotting us already. Hold on. Play this whole side if you could, so he can see.
Yeah, you see this right here.
Oh,
this isn't a city bus. This is like his personal, however the hell they got here.
I ain't gonna lie, it feels so good to be here. Like hometown, like it's home court advantage. We got home court advantage, bro. Home court advantage. Look at this. Look at this. Look at them.
What are they talking about? For what?
We gotta get right here. I think this is a civil rights. That's right now. I bet. So we out. God damn.
Okay, got out.
Turn me up, man. Oh shit. Oh my God.
So.
Yo, make sure y'all protect Chris. He got the
They thought this was him in the green the whole time.
I can't have nobody bumping into my
All the A&P out here, man. Yeah.
Let me get off first.
So here's the vantage point when he gets off this van. This is not a city bus.
Where the park at? Right here. Oh,
See, look at this. This is like a van. I think it's white. Maybe it's black.
Yo, I can't have nobody bumping into my book bag this time because we've seen it straight to
So he gets out. Complete chaos. What did he think was gonna happen? Oh my God, save him! This is the part where I said in the thumbnail, they were panicking. They were like, oh no, this is too much. They about to pick him up and carry him away.
Yo, I cannot go out there with the book bag.
So in this video, that's what happened. He ran over to the other side, and then that's when they picked him up and then just took him away because it was too much.
And you can see news helicopters are overhead. That's Union Square Park. The park has been swarmed and basically overrun by people. Look at the crowds of the subway station in Manhattan. Apparently what had happened here is a popular Twitch streamer was holding a video game giveaway. If you don't know what Twitch is, you're not alone.
Listen to these boomers.
It is. It's apparently a platform where you can watch other people play video games.
Which is a thing. A lot of, I mean,
Sounds
clearly.
incredibly boring, but obviously it's a thing. So this Cenat was
Boomer.
going to do a giveaway. He announced it on his Instagram feed. And look at this. It's basically become a mob scene there. They're on top of cars. Yeah, this is Union Square.
Well, Sandra, as you can see, I am standing next to the Union Square subway station entrance where it looks like it was closed off because of construction. But look up on top of that.
All right. So you saw his vantage point when he got out. Let's move on to the next one. They talk about how many people were injured, allegedly.
Systems. Instead, that promise leading to violence and dozens of arrests.
And that includes the man who sparked the whole thing, a social media influencer with 20 million followers being questioned by police right now.
Eyewitness News reporters Stefan Kim and Josh Heidegger in the middle of the mayhem this afternoon as it all played out, and they're live again tonight. We begin with Josh on the Upper East Side. Josh.
What an afternoon, Mike. We're here at the Upper East Side at the 19th NYPD precinct where this influencer is currently being questioned. Many people watching this newscast have probably never heard the name Cenat, but millions of young people have on social media, and today he invited them all to Union Square to join him. We could show you video taken back a couple of hours ago of his sister and private security entering the 19th precinct here. They are hoping to pick him up and take him away, but either way, he is being charged, according to police.
Pick him up and carry him away home.
With 2 counts of inciting a riot. Seemingly out of nowhere this afternoon, Union Square disintegrated into pandemonium. A spontaneous mosh pit of violence and fighting with top police brass under attack by thousands of people, many of them preteens who mobbed innocent New Yorkers just trying to pass by.
And the only thing I could think about was trying to keep my daughter safe.
Jaylene took cover with her 1-year-old in an ATM lobby as she watched a police officer get sucked into the crowd.
He ended up getting beaten and jumped by, I want to say, over like 10 people.
Every available officer was commanded to rush to the scene to restore order as members of the crowd raided a construction site in the middle of the square and vaulted a million projectiles at each other and police. Cops racked up so many arrests they filled 3 city buses with prisoners.
The buses had prisoners!
I had thousands of kids out there. I needed thousands of parents out there.
All those kids had been summoned to Union Square.
That's what the buses were for, and they didn't want to tell nobody what was going on with the buses. The buses, there were 3 city buses filled with people that they had locked up. So that's what the deal with the buses.
An influencer named Cenat, who has 20 million followers online. He told them he'd hand out gaming consoles. Police saw his initial post and sent officers to monitor a group that at first numbered just 300. But then the post went viral. 300 became at least 3,000.
This is a group of young people, and we had to be very, very delicate in how we handle this. All right, we wanted the kids to just comply with us and leave, but we were met with a lot of resistance. We were attacked. My older brother just called and told me he saw a video of me getting hit in the head. I'm not against young people coming here. If we knew about this, we could have the barriers out here, we could have police officers out here, we could have did this orderly, they could have gave whatever gifts they had for the young people away.
Eventually, police managed to convince the influencer to leave the crowd. He sped away through city streets with loyal followers clinging to the outside of his Escalade and falling off one by one. So much drama for, it seems,
Absolutely not.
Come and try and support him, but to come and make a mess of the city, but of just other pedestrians
Incels.
trying to get by and go throughout their day, it's just there's no consideration, and it's ridiculous, honestly.
This madness led to countless injuries. 7 people, though, needed actual treatment by EMS. Of them, 3 were police officers, 1 who had a broken hand. 65 people were placed under arrest. Of them, 30 are minors. And then, of course, there is Mr. Cenat, who is right now being processed here at the 19th precinct. He's
all right, so that's what happened.
Inciting a riot, along with unlawful assembly and other associated charges.
Here is the official statement from the who is this? This is I think this is the police chief. He waddles out later. And because now we see in the video, it is nightfall and they're still out here trying to sort all this out. So let's watch. He bow-legged.
You ready? Good. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming back for a second time. I just want to kind of update you with a few things, clarify a few things, and then take any questions after the fact. Again, I'm Chief Maggi, Chief of Department. I'm here with Chief Kemper, Chief of Transit, and Commissioner Daughtry, Chief of Staff and Chief of Department. Again, earlier today, as I said, about 12:30, 12:45, we became aware, our entertainment unit and our intelligence division became aware of this post submitted by an influencer saying that he was going to be here today to give away some gaming systems and some other prizes.
Lies.
We were aware of that. The local precinct sent a few police officers out here. Manhattan South Patrol Bureau sent some leadership out here. It was about 300 people around 1:30. Not a big crowd, something we would expect for a social media event like this. But this event grew exponentially, rapidly, fast. And again, this is the power of social media. The power of social media. There were thousands of young people here at this event. This wasn't a permitted event. It wasn't a sanctioned event. As the crowd grew, our response grew. We called the level 1 mobilization. When the crowd got bigger, we called the level 2 mobilization. As the kids started becoming more and more unruly and disorderly, we called the level 4.
So they skipped level 3 and went straight to level 4.
Mobilization. Right? So again, we continue to make sure our response grew as the crowd grew. All right. A lot of these young people, they were not following our orders. They really wanted to see this influencer, and it got to the point we were able to get the influencer out. And at that point, we were trying to take control of the scene. The young people out here, all right? And this is one of the first things we recognized, the leadership, when we all got together, that this is a group of young people, and we had to be very, very delicate in how we handled this, all right? We wanted the kids to just comply with us and leave, but we were met with a lot of resistance. We were attacked. My older brother just called and told me he saw a video of me getting hit in the head with an object. It was a very tough situation out here, and I really have to commend the women and men of this department, the level of restraint that they showed in addressing these young people, getting this place cleared out. But, you know, when it was time for us to make arrests, we made arrests, and I think we were very professional.
Yeah, had they been adults, you know, they probably would have went in, like, brought their guns, you know, they would have just let, you know, called the National Guard. They would have just let them at it.
How we did this. This is the
they get that light work because they was kids.
All my men and women of this apartment. Parents. And I have to commend. There were some parents who came out here. There were parents who called. Parents who came to us and said, I believe my child's in there.
I saw like one grandma out there.
My child out of there. But I had thousands of kids out there. I needed thousands of parents out there, all right? We don't want to do this. We want our young people to come out and gather and have fun. But when it gets to the point where they're disorderly, we want the parents to come and take control and let us take a step back, all right? Young people destroyed our vehicles. My car's destroyed. Commissioner Daughtry's car's destroyed. Other police vehicles destroyed. They destroyed food carts. They destroyed stores. When we started clearing the young people out here, young people ran through the streets of this city, taking plates off people who were outside dining, throwing their plates at police officers. All right?
Oh, wow.
After I spoke to you the first time earlier, a 17-year-old was plates off people who were outside dining, throwing their plates at police officers. All right. After I spoke to you the first time,
wow.
a 17-year-old was at Bellevue, and we believe the 17-year-old was shot at first, but we come to find out it was from fireworks.
They assume everyone is shot. Jesus.
Around a crowd of thousands of people, you're talking about a very dangerous, chaotic situation. All right, we can't let this happen here. We can't let this happen with our young people. So again, I have to implore the parents. All right, I have to implore the parents that we need your help with this. And again, I got to commend the men and women of the NYPD with their restraint.
I'm going to take a couple of questions. We'll go left to right. Sorry, man.
He's all out of breath. This is the most worst work he had to do in a long time. It's the most running and working out he's had in a very long time.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is once we took the influencer out, once we got the influencer out of here, then the young people, the reason they came down here, the reason they all descended upon Union Square was gone. So I think at that point, the young people were mulling around. It took us some time to push them out. Some were arrested for a variety of different charges, but it just a lot of patience by the men and women of this department.
Anthony Lorenzo, Pix 11. Chief, are you going to charge Cenat?
Yes, the influencer is charged. He's going to be charged with multiple counts, at least 2 counts of inciting a riot, unlawful assembly, and a few other charges.
All you have, 10-10 wins.
He's making that up. That's bullshit.
That I can't give. I can't speak for the influencer. We were able to get him and security team out of here, and I think once we got him out of here, it started to help quell the crowd.
The city
sees demonstrations and riots all the time. What was so unique about this one that it dissolved?
The power of social media, and I spoke about it earlier. The power of social media, the danger of social media. We went from 300 kids to a couple of thousand kids in minutes. We have to be responsible when we use this tool. All right, again, it's a great thing. We want our young people to enjoy their lives. This is what it's all about. All right, we were all there at one time in our lives, but it can't be a situation where it's dangerous. All right, and the young people, when you come to an event like this, come and have a good time. But when it's time to leave, it doesn't mean it's time for you to go out and destroy things. What we saw here today, we do not want our young people to destroy things.
All right, we got time for 1 or 2 more questions. Steve, New York Post.
Was anyone shot at all during this?
No, initially we got reports of that a person was shot. Hospital staff confirmed that it was debris. And
they're so thirsty for gunfire.
Some of the heavy-duty explosives that were thrown out here. I mean, when you're dealing with something like this, heavy-duty explosives, it's just the potential, the amount of danger that is here, that we're in the midst of. We can't even calculate it. Again, just a great job out of men and women in this department showing restraint.
All right, this will be our final question. Jessica Cunnington, NBC4.
Were officers monitoring any other groups at this point, like at this hour, and then also news?
No, they weren't monitoring anything, obviously.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just always going to be a challenge for the men and women of this department, for law enforcement. What do you do? Someone puts a post on social media, I'll be here at this place. People love this influencer, any influencer. They love the influencer. They have a lot of followers. I'll be here. People are going to show up. What do we do? How do we handle that? I mean, our social entertainment unit, I think, we have to reach out to some of our influencers and ask them to be responsible with this, to help us with this. I'm not against young people coming here. If we knew about this, we could have the barriers out here. We could have police officers out here. We could have did this orderly.
Yeah, they could have made him pay for a permit. Wow. Yeah, they'd have made him pay. They made him pay for that damn security, too.
They could have gave whatever gifts they have for the young people away. I encourage this. We want our young people to come to events like this. It just can't be, hey, this is what we're doing. It's a free-for-all. We see this is the outcome, and we cannot have these outcomes.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
I'll take this last one. What's the other one? Yes. Well, definitely 3 confirmed, 2 removed by ambulance. 1, I just learned of another sergeant whose hand is broken. We had at least 4 civilians that were removed by EMS. But I assure you, I personally saw other people leaving here with their heads split open, cuts, bruises, lacerations. Myself hitting the head, something down in my leg is hurting. They'll be moving before the season's over. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time and attention.
The leg hurting. He hurting, y'all. Okay, I think that's it. So the next one is the mayor who came out the next day at about, I think at the afternoon time, and he gave his statement. So let's hear from Mayor Adams.
The fact that this is a 17-year-old, is that, what feeling do you have on that, the fact that this is a very young person?
And that's a great question, because what you're seeing that is happening to our youth in this country, in general, but specifically here in New York City, is something that we should all be alarmed about. We saw it yesterday down at Union Square. This is not a policing issue. This is a parenting issue. And we need to be clear on that. The police is the response after an incident happened, but there should be a proactive approach. When I looked at what happened in Union Square, the first thing I did was text my son and say, where are you? Are you in Union Square? And I wonder, with the thousands of children who were there, hurling dangerous objects at police officers, disrespecting the residents in the area, attacking each other, how many parents text their children? And, that old commercial that says 10 p.m., do you know where your children are? How many looked at that and said...
Texting them probably isn't going to do anything at that point, but, I guess it's a try.
Let me text my son. Let me call my daughter. Are you down there? And so police is not going to be able to resolve these issues.
Send you a strong, your mom will send you a strong text.
Yesterday by the New York City Police Department.
Get your ass home.
Turned really ugly. And as I monitored and communicated with the underground teams, of, telling them these are young people. We have to, be mindful of that as we bring back order. That's the same in this incident. 17-year-old. You're not born with hate. So what are we doing as adults that creates this energy of hate? And that energy that's created is not coming from a community such as the Muslim community that is aware of the hate that they see every day. It's not coming from the LGBTQ plus community of the hate they experience. So it's coming from other entities that we need to fight against. And the only way we can win is we are united.
What the fuck is he talking about?
We're standing here today on the announcement of this apprehension.
He's like mixing up these incidences. There's that one that happened, I guess it was last week, where some Muslim guy like stabbed some gay guy that was at like a gas station. He's like mixing them up, and it's weird.
What's your message to parents? I mean, clearly, like you said, a 17-year-old. Yesterday there was chaos erupted. Young people. Your message to parents. What would you say to that?
And it's difficult being a parent now with so much weight and so many obligations they are facing. I know my role with Jordan and the responsibilities that I have. Our children cannot be raised by social media. Our children cannot get their values, their beliefs from social media and other outside entities. And it's about being aware that the things that my mother needed to raise me is different from the things that parents need today. Our children are being inundated by influencers, by those who consider themselves to be credible messengers. This young man yesterday, he had a substantial number of followers. People came from outside the city to be there, and I want us to, we're further looking into whether there's some even outside agitators. You don't come to get free Game Boys and bring smoke bombs and bring M80s and bring other...
What the fuck is he talking about? Was he watching the same shit? Nobody brought smoke bombs, sir. Nobody had... Nobody did that.
Disruptive items. And so...
that cloud of dust that you saw, that was some like fire extinguisher that was left at the construction site. That was the smoke that you saw.
We believe there were some outside influencers that may have attempted to aggravate the situation. And I cannot say
you can just look at the videos like I've done, and you can figure this shit out. Like, it's not difficult.
For the police department yesterday, I don't think people realize the level of discipline that was showed to take a very dangerous, volatile situation and to be able to bring it to a level of resolve without any loss of life, any substantial damage to property, and without young people harming themselves. And, that's the type of discipline it takes and the type of dedication that it took to bring this person to justice. We're going to create an environment where the city is safe, and one should be allowed to dance, to express themselves, to dress.
Okay, we're mixing the incidences again. He's just like weaving in between the two. He can't concentrate on which one he wanted to talk about. Confused Mayor Adams, thank you very much, sir. On to the next. And the final couple ones, this is from today, and they pretty much just wrap up like what happened.
Thousands of young people took over Union Square because of the promise that they were going to be given free video game systems. Everything quickly devolved into chaos as the crowds got out of control and started to trash the area. They even went after police officers. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is in Union Square Park. Marcus, good morning to you this morning.
Good morning, Michelle. And the chief of department saying it shows the power of social media and the danger of it as well, as things quickly got out of control, and it was downright scary for better parts of a couple of hours here at Union Square. So the person behind it all, Cenat, is an influencer. He walked out of the 19th precinct late last night after he was served with a number of desk appearance tickets for his role in all of this.
A desk appearance ticket. So that means it kind of like a violation you get when you get pulled over and they write you a ticket and they tell you, okay, here your court date. You need to be at the courthouse on August 18th, which is what they told him. And we'll see. He'll probably pay a fine or some shit. These charges aren't going to stick. I mean, if they can't nail Travis Scott for whatever the hell they were trying to get him on criminal charges and that shit didn't stick, you didn't charge Jason Aldean with running an unsafe concert. He had like 60 people who died at his show. You didn't charge Ariana Grande for having a mass shooting at her concert either. Like, just look back in history. This doesn't happen. Like, people don't get charged with this stuff. It doesn't stick.
Started yesterday afternoon. There was a post saying that there was going to be a giveaway of video game consoles.
It's all talk.
And quickly a crowd that had been a few hundred people became a few thousand. And it was young folks just throwing anything that they could. Traffic cones, water bottles, setting off fireworks. There's a construction equipment. They're working on the entrance to the subway station. That was quickly stormed over. They were grabbing shovels, throwing paint, climbing on top of the subway station. 7 injuries in all.
Stuff that was already there.
People in the crowd, one of them a 17-year-old, seriously injured by a firework to the point that police believed it was a gunshot wound. Things got out of control really quickly.
We wanted the kids to just comply with us and leave, but we were met with a lot of resistance. We were attacked. My older brother just called and told me he saw a video of me getting hit in the head. I'm not against young people coming here. If we knew about this, we could have the barriers out here, we could have police officers out here, we could have did this orderly.
To come and make a mess of not just the city, but of just other pedestrians like me that are just trying to get by and go throughout their day, it's just, there's no consideration, and it's ridiculous, honestly.
She was hiding in an ATM.
Well, police ultimately brought in 3 city buses, and they arrested dozens of people. 65 arrests made, 30 to juveniles. And as for Kai Cenat, he was charged with first-degree riot, causing public injury and damage. That is a felony. The other 2 are misdemeanor, inciting a riot, unlawful assembly. Things here at Union Square getting back to normal as a sanitation department, just cleaning the debris and cleaning off that paint that was smeared early this morning.
At least 3 officers were hurt, and police made dozens of arrests, including the influencer, who they say prompted the massive gathering. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn reports on this from New York.
A lot of people got hurt today.
NYPD officers worked for hours Friday to bring a large and chaotic crowd of thousands of mostly young people under control in the heart of Manhattan.
Young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other.
See,
they were hurting each other.
that's not a smoke bomb. That's why I put this video here. You can see it was a fire extinguisher, or it was like a paint. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those paint things. Yeah. Nobody brought this. This was at that construction site.
On us. We had to defend ourselves, and we had to make arrests.
The crowd initially gathered in Union Square for a promoted PlayStation giveaway by internet personality Kai Cenat, who has millions of followers on social media and is one of the most well-known streamers on Twitch. But the event quickly turned unruly.
People started throwing stuff, and then once the people for the giveaway started coming out, that's when they started to get out of control.
Police removed Cenat for his safety and brought him in for questioning.
He's going to be charged with multiple counts, at least 2 counts of inciting a riot, unlawful assembly, and a few other charges.
He posted this video of himself during the incident to his live YouTube channel. As the scene grew more frenzied, people threw objects, large and small, and structures in the park. The NYPD ultimately called for a massive response, a mobilization of 1,000 officers who began clearing the area. Some were injured in the process. From above, police drones...
That was a firework, not a bomb. Let's look at it again.
To disperse. From above,
somebody brought some fireworks, not a bomb.
From above, police drones...
Look at that. Fireworks. Not a bomb.
From above, police drones ordered the crowd to disperse. Authorities eventually cleared the crowd
Not a
and followed
gun.
closely as people made their way out of the area, leaving behind plenty of debris and damage. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The NYPD police chief said 65 arrests were made and said the police would review Friday's events and its response and how it monitors social media.
A chaotic scene breaking out in New York City today when thousands of young people flooded into the streets. They showed up after a popular social media streamer promoted a giveaway. At least 3 police officers were injured, dozens arrested, including that influencer. Bradley Blackburn has more from Manhattan.
A lot of people got hurt today.
NYPD officers worked for hours Friday to bring a large and chaotic crowd of thousands of mostly young people under control in the heart of Manhattan.
Young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other.
There's that again.
They were turning our attacks on us. We had to defend ourselves, and we had to make arrests.
The fire extinguisher.
Union Square for a promoted PlayStation giveaway by internet personality Kai Cenat, who has millions of followers on social media and is one of the most well-known streamers on Twitch. But the event quickly turned unruly.
People started throwing stuff, and then once the people for the giveaway started coming out, that's when they started to get out of control.
Police removed Cenat for his safety and brought him in for questioning.
He's going to be charged with multiple counts, at least 2 counts of inciting a riot, unlawful assembly, and a few other charges.
He posted this video of himself during the incident to his live YouTube channel. As the scene grew more frenzied, people threw objects, large and small, and climbed structures in the park. The NYPD ultimately called for a massive response, a mobilization of 1,000 officers who began clearing the area. Some were injured in the process. From above.
All right, so here's the last one, and we're going to find out what happened to Kai after he got questioned, I suppose.
Filed against the social media influencer whose video game giveaway prompted mayhem in New York City. Kai Cenat is accused of inciting a riot during the unpermitted event. CBS's Michael George joins us now from New York with more on what happened. Michael, good evening.
Robert, good evening. It was supposed to be a giveaway. Kai Cenat told more than 6 million followers he was giving $400 PlayStations away for free. But it went awry, ending with injuries, property damage, dozens of arrests, and criminal charges for the popular social media influencer.
We're not going to do nothing until it's safe.
That moment never came for popular live streamer Kai Cenat. His unsanctioned video game console giveaway in New York's Union Square drew a crowd of thousands and spiraled into mayhem. Cenat was ultimately slapped with charges, including inciting a riot.
Yeah, this is him leaving once they came and got him out of the jail.
What happened, sir?
Listen, did you hear what he said? He said, "Where are the PlayStations?" He never had any. Yeah. Where are the PlayStations? Did anybody get one? Leave a comment if you got one or you got a gift card. What did you get for going down here other than charges?
Fans surged Cenat's vehicle when he arrived at the park.
Once the people for the giveaway started coming out, that's when things started to get out of control.
Police say some in the crowd started throwing supplies from a nearby construction site, lit fireworks, and scaled street poles as 1,000 officers tried to control the chaos.
People started climbing up on the subway stations, and then people then started throwing water bottles. I had to protect my children.
More than 65 people were arrested. About half were underage.
This is not a policing issue. This is a parenting issue.
Mayor Eric Adams questioned if parents knew their kids' whereabouts yesterday, and said the city is investigating whether outside agitators were involved.
You don't come to get free Game Boys and bring smoke bombs.
I just can't with him. Oh my God. Just stop. Goddamn boomer.
And bring M80s.
What video was he watching? What year is this? Like, everything ain't a Nintendo, sir.
Police say they're still looking for 8 more rioters who they say damaged a parked NYPD vehicle. Robert?
Michael George, thank you.
That's what we're hearing from various people in the crowd.
Well, you heard that. They're going to get him for inciting a riot, apparently. And we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. August 18th. That is when they said his court date is. So we'll see if those charges actually go through. They stick. If they give him more, he comes out with less. I don't know if he get locked up. I don't think so. However, y'all, it's been fun. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I will talk to you later again soon in the next video. I'm out.